Alright, so today we're talking about gifts. This is the time of the year when everything should be raised to a different level of joy and happiness. Everything around us buzzes with all kinds of colors, and it's the time of the year when we should give to others, and gifts are important for everyone because they bring a smile and joy on our faces, and it helps sometimes with our jobs and trades and whatever we're doing. So today we're talking about gifts for photographers and videographers because that's what we're doing on this channel. And if you stumble upon the channel, you don't know what this is a more photography channel when we're talking about things about photography, gear sometimes, and most of the time we are debating how good it is to be a photographer or how bad it is. And if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and subscribe to the channel or give this video a thumbs up. Nonetheless, there are more videos in the photography playlist down in the description below. And let's get to the video because we have gifts from all kinds of areas, and most of them are cheap. There are a few expensive, a few that might require a little bit more love to, give them to your peers or colleagues or your friends, family, and so on and so forth. So first and foremost, I'm gonna start with the less expensive ones. For example, straps, neck straps or wrist straps. This one is actually built by myself, and it's made out of paracord. You can find them online as well for $20, something like that, $15, $20. But this one is a little bit more expensive. This is a Peak Design strap that you can use with your camera, and Peak Design is well known for using these anchors. These small anchors that can help you choose whatever strap you want for whatever camera you want. Basically, you can attach these little ones to your camera and then attach it to the strap, and that's it. You have a strap on the camera. Good thing is that you can put these anchors on many cameras or whatever devices you want to attach them to, and carry them around with only one strap. This is the Peak Design leash, I believe, but they have wider ones, different models. They even have branded one for your cameras. This was from when I was shooting Sony, and it has the Sony brand on it, but I think they have Fujifilm as well as Canon. So yeah, go ahead and try these ones. With them, I have two other cheap stuff. One of them is a rocket blower that you can basically cool off. No, this is used for removing the dust on front of your lens or on your sensor. And this one, let's say its big brother, the microfiber cloth that you can use to wipe your lens or wipe anything else like glasses, everything that's shiny, iPads and phones, but they're very useful. And these two can't be in short supply in a photographer's bag or videographer's bag because we're always using them, especially outside when there is a lot of dust. We need to blow the dust on our sensors because these mirrorless cameras are working against us, pretty much against us, because the sensor is exposed and all the dust gets on the sensor very fast. So this thing comes in handy, as well as this one for cleaning the lens and so on and so forth. Never clean a lens with your t-shirt like I do. And I'm pretty sure that this will be very appreciated by your peer, your photographer, or so on and so forth. The people who are using cameras are usually using this a lot. Another thing that it's very important for a photographer, even if it just started in photography or videography, this thing is a mini tripod. This one is from Ulanzi, I believe, but there are many on the market. The most well-known one, the most used one, is one from Manfrotto called Manfrotto Pixie. These ones are great, and this particular one has a selfie stick as well. So if your photographer is into selfie sticks, this is very useful. It's not super sturdy, not very, let's say, heavy inclined, but you can use a small mirrorless camera, a phone with a small lens, everything that It's not super heavy, around probably 2 pounds. It will work well with one of these, and they're very nice to have in your bag because they're very light. Nothing to worry about space or anything because they're small and portable. And the last one in this category are these guys. These are adapters, just pieces of metal with two different mounts on sides. This one basically attaches to your camera, and this one attaches an usually vintage lens or an old lens, like let's say this one, which is a Canon FD lens. And it works with one of these adapters. These are coming in all kinds of flavors and brands, and they can be used on Nikon and Sony and Fujifilm and Canon, all mirrorless cameras accept these adapters, and you can adapt vintage lenses on. So if your photographer or videographer is into shooting vintage lenses, or if is very serious about photography, they will probably shoot vintage lenses. So that adapter is very important, and it's nice to have. They're not expensive, around $20-25. Again, they're just pieces of metal. You don't have to worry about anything. It's not a lens, it's just a ring that you're attaching. The only thing that you have to know is the mount of their camera. If it's a Sony, it has a different mount, Fujifilm a different mount. So that's the only thing that you have to know, and you're gonna find them on Amazon in all kinds of flavors. Now with them, you can buy these guys. These are not adapters, or they are adapters but not to adapt other lenses as much as you adapt your own lenses. These are macro rings or macro ring adapters or extension rings that you can put on your camera and attach any of your lenses with the same mount on it. And what basically do, they in length the flange, the distance between the sensor and the lens, and that makes the focus distance shorter and will help you get closer to objects to shoot pretty much a macro. They're not full macro, they're not 1:1, usually 1:2, 1:4, but it's good to have these magnification rings to get in detail, especially if your photographer is a event photographer or an outdoor photographer who likes to shoot macro. This will get them start in that microscopic world and will help them get a little bit closer to the subject. A little bit expensive, a little bit more expensive than what I showed you is this guy. This is a CPL, or a circular polarizer. As you can tell, it changes the amount of light that hits me right now, and if I'm putting it in front of the camera, you can tell there is a big difference. When I'm turning it, it's getting darker and lighter. So what these do is basically not to cut the light, but the reflection that hits the object that you're shooting. When you're using these guys, you're getting flat reflections or non-reflective surfaces like metal or water or anything that reflects light, powerful, even leaves. This is very helpful. You can't edit your photos and remove the reflections the way this guy does. You probably can if you are advanced, but if you are advanced, you probably know that this one is better. And if you want to buy one of these, they come in all kinds of diameters. I advise you to buy the biggest diameter. I think it's an 82 or an 87, something like that. But the biggest you can afford, buy that one and not a small one like this one. And the filter will be easier to basically use on any lens, no matter what diameter the front element is, because any photographer and videographer who consider itself a little bit more advanced knows that you can adapt this using adaptive rings, that step-up rings that you can step up from diameter to diameter to diameter to the biggest one. And the biggest it is, the less vignetting you're gonna have. If you're stepping down, this one being small, if the lens on the back is, let's say, like this big, imagine how the rings are basically creating a cone, and that cone creates vignetting in your photos. These are very useful, so this itself can be a great gift. Another More expensive stuff, or a little bit more expensive, are spare batteries. This one is for Fujifilm, they're for any camera out there, and you can buy them. They're not super cheap, around $55 to $90 depending on the camera brand. Some are expensive, some are less expensive. But if you're thinking about buying a battery or two for your photographer, keep in mind that the OM ones, the original batteries for their camera that they're shooting, are better than the third-party ones. Though I use third-party batteries, I will not advise you buying a gift for someone in a third-party battery, because it might damage the camera. It might also not fit the camera. It might bulge a little bit and melting inside. These are well-known problems with the third-party batteries, because it is what it is. So these ones are a bit more expensive, but they're good, and at least you have the warranty from the manufacturer, and if something happens to your camera, you know for sure that you can send it to them and they will fix it. So don't go for crazy cheap batteries, buy the OM, and I guarantee you the photographer will appreciate you for doing that. And these ones can come in short supply because you always need batteries and they're dying in time, so it's good to have backups. Now, this thing is not super expensive, but it's more niched, so that's why I left it a little bit behind. This is a film, a black and white film, specifically this one that I'm holding. It's an Ilford HP5 Plus, but there are many out there, and there is no bad option when it comes to film. There are different flavors for different people, but buying a film doesn't matter what film it is. It's a great thing, even for a photographer who doesn't shoot that kind of film, because we always want to try, we always want to dabble with the new, and we want to venture into all kinds of, let's say, environments, and we want to try different stuff to make sure that we're not losing that FOMO is real, especially with vintage photographers, because when you find out that this one is better than the one that you're shooting, you'll probably want to try it. And that's why I'm saying I not gonna say go ahead and buy Ilford or buy Kodak or buy lomography. Just go ahead and buy any kind of film if your photographer is shooting film, and they're gonna be happy with it, because even if it's an expired film, they're gonna be very happy with it. They love to have film, stock film, always with them. So whatever it is, they're gonna probably use it at some point. Also be sure that they're shooting 35mm, because if they're shooting medium format, it might be a different kind of film, and 120 film. So if you don't know, just try to basically find out, ask him things about the camera and how he shoots or she shoots and stuff like that, and they will come up with something about the camera that will give you a hint of what kind of film they're using, and you'll know for your gift. Now, getting into heavy gear, lenses and cameras and stuff like that, you can get away with just buying old lenses. This one is a 28mm Vivitar FD lens for Canon. It's a very, very nice lens, and I really, really like it. But there are many out there. So what you can do is, if you're buying an adapter, like I said, for example, this one is an FD adapter, you can always put it on the lens. And now this lens just became a Fujifilm lens because of the mount right here. But it's not gonna be a autofocus lens, it's just a manual lens. These lenses are awesome for street photography or for shooting video, because they have a beautiful manual focus ring, very smooth, and yeah, that's how you buy this one. One can go from $50 to many thousands depending on the brand. For example, Leica lenses are very expensive, as well as Zeiss lenses and other Voigtlander. They're a little bit more expensive, but old manufacturer OM lenses like Canon and Nikon can go between $50 and let's say $200, maybe more depending on whatever lens it is, but they're not super expensive. So this will be a great thing to buy for your photographer. As long as you're buying the right adapter for it, they're gonna be even happier. It's like you're basically giving them a native lens. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And because I said that I'm gonna add a bonus of expensive stuff, here it is. If you have plenty of money, and if money are not a problem, you can go ahead and buy one of these guys. This is a old vintage SLR that shoots film. It's a Minolta SRT 101. They're not super expensive, around $200, $150, $200, one in good condition. But this wasn't the one that I was trying to tell you about. Actually, it was this one, or this kind. This is a mirrorless camera. This one in particular is a Nikon ZFC, and is a great camera for a gift. Will probably do well, but you need to have a certain level of love to invest $1,000 for a photographer to probably, you know, make an amazing gift that will put definitely a huge smile, if not a laugh, on their face. But these ones are amazing things, and they shouldn't be that expensive. They actually, you know, range from $250 to many thousands again. But if you can find one that it's not super expensive and even used, is in good condition for less, that will make an amazing gift. And the mirrorless cameras have been released like 9 years ago, something like that. And basically everyone started move towards this system because it's easy, they're smaller, they're more portable, and again will make a great gift for your photographer. So guys, if you like these gifts, go ahead and find them on Amazon. I don't have affiliate links, not yet. I might look into it in the future. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That's the only way you're supporting me. And subscribe to the channel if you didn't already. Like I said, we have tons of photography videos here. In the description below, you're gonna find all the playlists that I have with photography videos that we're doing on this channel, as well as other info about what I'm shooting and what I'm using, about myself. Nonetheless, stay happy and enjoy your time with your family, enjoy the holidays. We're gonna have more videos this time of the year for sure, and we're gonna talk about the channel, we're gonna talk about things that are happening with this channel in 2022 and the studio and everything else. But stay focused, my friends, and until then, I will definitely see you in a bit.